both locally and nationwide?
I honestly think it's very sad, and I honestly think that the police departments across the nation need to do something about that and have stricter policies in place for that and take more accountability for it, because they have all type of training exercises where they should not respond too aggressively at the wrong time. So I think that they need to hold them accountable for their training. And we all understand how fear works. They're in a lot of different situations, a lot of difficult situations. And the cause to shoot people, should be based on a threat. You know what I'm saying? Literally eliminating a threat. And if it's not based on eliminating a threat, I think they need to have policies in place that are very, very strict to send a message through the boys in blue that it's intolerable.
And I appreciate that. And remember, what I'm asking, I know we all don't agree with the killing of our folks by police. I'm wondering more about what happens after that, because that's part of the reason that organizations like Black Lives Matter show up, is because it's not just because they were killed, it's because of the lack of the killing with impunity. So, and all that happens now when we get convictions that don't happen, charges that don't happen, is a slap on the wrist and say, hey, take a vacation. So Sean, going to you, what are your thoughts about that part?
Okay, I want to preface it first by saying let's not act like it's brand new.
Yeah. Right. Not saying it's brand new.
Because you remember Marvin Gaye's song, "What's Going On?" He was singing about it then. What's going on? Okay, it's again a continuation, and so my thoughts on it is this: I think that there's too much focus at times on the actual police officer and not the police unions or their attorneys. Big difference. Just like right here, you got the FOP. That's a fraternal order of police. Okay, and they're backed up by attorneys and union reps. Okay, these are paid public servants through our tax dollars. Okay, and so what happens is when a young black male, young black female is in an altercation, whatever happens, an incident with the police, their life is lost, immediately that officer not only calls the sergeant, the watch person, whoever's on, they call the union rep. Because that union rep, that fraternal order, begins to craft the story on how they're going to get this police officer off immediately, the moment the incident happens. Okay, and so the answer to that now, okay, number one is community training. I don't mean just for the police, because let me tell you about the police training. They're not trained to shoot you in the leg. They're not trained to shoot you in the, they're trained to shoot center mass, and they're shooting at black targets most times. That's real. Okay, but for the community, that's why I say we gotta have the lawyers on board. We gotta have those who know how to deal with those interactions, what to say, what not to say, how not to incriminate yourself, how to respond. Do you turn on the dashboard? Do you keep it dark? Do you cut your radio down? We gotta have the community training. Number one, the community got to know how to respond in these incidences. Number two, you got to keep you a good attorney on deck. You got to keep you an attorney on deck. That's why I'm glad Brother Aubrey's coming next. This is why he's an attorney. You got that law training too. You got to keep you an attorney on deck because they got an attorney on deck. So no matter whether they were wrong, look at Philando Castile on tape, on video, legal. The NRA didn't say a word. A legal gun owner. Okay, so you keep your good attorney on deck. Know how to deal with these interactions with law enforcement officers. And I think the outcome will be strategically different, but we do have to have a plan in dealing with them with the military mind.
For me, just the way I feel like we need to be educated by our own, I feel like we also need to be policed by our own. I think it points to a deeper issue within our culture in terms of how, we know how we feel about police and how we talk about police. And I think that kind of cultural mindset, as it relates to not just policing, but we can just talk about professionalism, period. talk about education, we can talk about teaching, we can talk about young males growing up in the hood, not going into certain arenas of employment simply because of the mentality. So as we can continue to try to break down that mentality, I won't do this, I won't be that, because it'll take away from my credibility as a black man, right? In other words, you know, over the course of this year, I don't know how many new police officers were hired on the force, but how many were black? You follow me? And so when you're hiring guys that are not from the community to police the community, they do bring a sense of fear. They bring a lack of understanding, and they also bring their prejudices and their biases. We've seen enough footage where we see white police officers dealing with their own, you know, having a conversation, talking to the person. And when they're dealing with somebody that they don't know and don't understand, that energy is much more aggressive. So I think, you know, the bigger point of the matter is to not continue to beg the police to treat us right and stop shooting, because again, this is nothing new. You know, they've been killing us since slavery, and they kept killing us, and it's going on today, and they're being released today just as they were then. So it points to a bigger matter of us needing to continue to raise our young, shift the mindset away from the streets and selling dope and being thugs, etc. We need to talk about education. We need to talk about all the different realms of employment where we need to be. Not just policing, but healthcare, education. Let's